Alright guys, welcome to alternate bass line number 2. I really like this bass line because it has just a nice feel to it, kind of a swing feel. But there are things that we need to do in order to get ready for this idea. The first thing is to notice where once again your offbeat comes in. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So we're using a C scale, we're using the 3rd note, the 5th note, and the 6th note. And our first bass line had the same thing in terms of the and of 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and on the downbeat. But what makes this one different is it still does the downbeat, the and of 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So we get a little more syncopation, which is on the off beats, right? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that G is on the offbeat each time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that's actually what makes this beat sound really nice. When I do 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and. And the last part. Okay, so what we're going to do now is break this beat down so that we can actually play it, right? For some of you, it's going to be hard just to think, oh, well, let's just play this. 2 and 3, da-dee-da-dum. The way you get it is by slowing it down. I put the metronome on 50 beats per minute, but it's in 8th notes, so we're going to be doing this very slowly. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Let's talk about our fingering. 5, 3, 2, 1 is all you use. And 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 2. Now let's put that with the right hand and make sure we can lock that up. And 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and. Once again, the C is with my E, so that already makes it pretty easy there. Let's do it again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So I did that wrong, but the C hit with the G. 2 and 3 and 4 and. Notice that when I hit the G, I was with the C, and then I went to the A. Let me stop it for a second. See how I went with the F and A against the A note? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So the G and the C get the last beat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now, what is nice about this is, yes, I want to have the metronome on, and I want to make sure I'm, as I'm practicing the bass line, I'm getting that all together. Like I turn the bass line, and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and make sure you use this fingering if you can. And 2 and 3, 4 and 5, 3, 2, 1, 2. Now when it goes to F, it's the same fingering. It's just F, A, C, D of an F chord. 1 and, let me turn that off. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. When you go to G, it's the same fingering. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And when I start putting it together, I'm going to make sure I'm doing it very slowly, even without the metronome. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now what will happen is after you practice that for a while and you're doing 50 beats per minute on eighth notes, here we go, 1, or you could put it on 100, obviously. You could do it that way as well. But we want to practice it really slowly. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. We stop it. Now when I transition to F, I did the same thing where I used my anchor note to get to that F. On the last time, see how I played the F against the G? Let me play the whole thing for you guys. Let me do the ending again. Now, what I'm just listening to as I'm playing it myself is that sometimes I actually do where I do the anchor thing, G. Sometimes I go just to G and then hop for the next one. In other words, I don't always on this one go to the anchor note of F of the next chord. Let me do that again. So here's with the anchor, and what I mean by anchor, I'm using the note of the next chord, hitting it on the and of 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Let's listen to that again. 1 and 2 and 3. That's using it. Let me do it one more time. Here's not using it. I like it so much more to use it. It makes it so much easier. So I think I'm going to say let's always use it. Yeah, see how much harder it is to do that? Watch.